Welcome to the Deep Dive. You know, it's easy to get swept away by heavy metal sound, the riffs, the drums, all that power. But what about the words? Today, we're going to really dig into some of heavy metal's most iconic lines. Our mission: to show you how these lyrics are way more than just backing vocals. They carry stories, real emotional weight, and sometimes surprising depth that connected with people everywhere. Shaped a whole culture, really.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive right in. We got to start with the pioneers, right? Where it all began. Black Sabbath's War Pigs. Just legendary for its anti-war message. And that line, chills. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. How did that imagery hit people back then? It feels so potent.
Oh, it immediately set this really ominous tone. You gotta remember, this was during the Vietnam War era, lots of disillusionment, but it wasn't just, a protest song. It cemented metal's ability to be critical, almost prophetic. Like it was blurring the lines between military power and something darker, older, almost ritualistic evil.
Yeah, it felt like a statement about something timelessly malevolent, not just that specific war. Right, that timeless quality. So while Sabbath was doing that heavy critique, Motorhead came along with a totally different kind of defiance. Raw, unapologetic, ace of spades.
Yeah.
And that line, you know I'm born to lose and gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. What was it about that born to lose thing? It wasn't just giving up, was it? It seemed to really connect with metal's identity, especially for outsiders.
Well, exactly. It perfectly captured that core metal theme of authenticity. It wasn't just about rejecting the normal path. It was like being born to lose into its own kind of victory, on your own terms. It's sort of a blueprint, really, for finding strength in being an outsider, building a community for those who maybe felt a bit off-center.
Yeah, finding strength in that outsider status. Okay, so the pioneers laid that groundwork, commentary, rebellion, but then things got really interesting lyrically, didn't they? Especially with the new wave of British heavy metal and then thrash. The stories got way more complex, like Iron Maiden's Hallowed Be Thy Name. Starts with, I'm waiting in my cold cell when the bell begins to chime, reflecting on my past life and it doesn't have much time.
Yes. That song's approach is so theatrical. It progresses, from fear towards this kind of spiritual acceptance. It really elevated metal lyrics. Suddenly they're telling complex narratives, exploring these big universal human experiences, fear, mortality. It's like a mini movie in a song, drawing you right into that intense moment.
Totally. And then Judas Priest, simpler maybe, but so direct, breaking the law.
Yeah.
That became such a massive rallying cry, didn't it? Breaking the law, breaking the law. You could feel that working class frustration, the economic despair.
Absolutely. And then Metallica took things in another direction again. They really started pushing into internal struggles, psychological stuff. Master of Puppets, for instance. It's not just about addiction. It kind of builds this whole narrative structure around it. That chorus, Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings, twisting your mind, and smashing your dreams. It almost mimics that insidious control through the repetition.
And one, wow,
Whoa.
Taking that internal dive even deeper. A WWI soldier trapped in his own body. It's incredibly bleak. Darkness imprisoning me, all that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live, I cannot die, trapped in myself, body my holding self. That shift to internal pain is powerful. But I wonder, did exploring that kind of deep introspection ever risk maybe losing some fans who just wanted that outward anger?
That's an interesting point. And maybe for some, yeah. But I think the sheer authenticity of tackling those internal themes ultimately deepened the connection for many. It showed metal wasn't afraid to go to the darkest, most personal places. It offered a different kind of catharsis, maybe a more profound one for some listeners.
Right, authenticity is key. So we've gone from social critique to these intense internal struggles, and the evolution just kept branching out, didn't it? Across all the subgenres. Pantera's Walk, that became such a huge anthem for self-respect. You can't be something you're not. Be yourself, by yourself, somewhere else, away from me. Turning that personal boundary setting into something so powerful.
Exactly. It was like a mirror for empowerment, a reminder to, stand your ground against fakeness, reclaim your space. It really hit on those tricky interpersonal dynamics lots of people face.
You had Dio bringing in all this mysticism. Holy Diver posing that big question. Holy Diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me?
Yeah.
Using fantasy, sure. But to explore really deep ideas about purity, confronting darkness.
Definitely. And then you have the other end of the spectrum almost. The bleakness of doom metal. Candlemass, solitude. I mean, I'm sitting here alone in darkness, waiting to be free. Please let me die in solitude. It shows how metal became this vital space for exploring profound despair, finding catharsis even in that shared darkness.
And we can't skip Venom, black metal. Not just a song title. It was basically a mission statement for a whole subgenre. Lay down your souls to the black metal gods, rock and roll, defining that rebellious identity.
So if you step back and look at the big picture, what this all tells us, fundamentally, is that these lines stick around. They endure. Why? Because they manage to capture really complex emotions, big ideas, and the music just amplifies it all. They hit on these core human themes again and again. Rebellion, yeah, but also existential questions, escapism through fantasy, and just raw, honest aggression.
Right. So what does this all mean for you listening? These aren't just song lyrics floating out there. They become your personal anthems, right? They reflect your own struggles, your beliefs. And that builds this incredibly powerful sense of community among people all over the world who hear their own stories in these words. So we've kind of traced this amazing journey. Heavy metal lyrics starting with potent social critiques, evolving into these profound philosophical questions, telling intricate stories, diving deep into the psyche. These words, they're not just memorable, they really define the genre's spirit. They make you think, and they forge these deep bonds. So here's something to chew on. What profound, maybe unexpected messages might you find if you really listen closely to the lyrics of your favorite songs? Doesn't even have to be metal. What hidden depths might you be overlooking right now?